Everyone copies. You see what works. You tweak it. You call it progress. That's not progress. That's iteration. Real change starts when you ask a different question. Not, how do others do this? But, why does this even cost what it costs? Musk wanted to build rockets. Rockets cost hundreds of millions. He didn't negotiate. He didn't optimize the supply chain. He asked, what is a rocket made of? Aluminum. Carbon fiber. Fuel. Raw materials. 2% of the price. The other 98%. Legacy process. Overhead. Monopoly markup. And the biggest cost of all, throwing the damn thing away after one use. So he built SpaceX. Designed the manufacturing from scratch. Made the parts in-house. And landed the rockets so they could fly again. That's for strip away every assumption. Dig until you hit bedrock. Rebuild from there. Most people don't do this. Because it's slow. It's uncomfortable. And it forces you to admit you've been wrong. But here's the thing. If you never question the defaults, you'll never build anything new. Let me give you the framework. 3 steps. Step 1. Identify the hidden assumptions. You think you need to buy a house. Why? Because that's what people do. But do you need property? Or do you need stability? Security? A place that feels like yours? Those are different problems. And they have different solutions. Step 2. Keep asking why. 5 times minimum. Why do I forget what I learn? Because I don't review. Why don't I review? Because I never connected it to something I already know. Why does connection matter? Because memory is a web, not a list. Now you've hit the real problem. Learning isn't about repetition. It's about linking new ideas to old structure. Step 3. Rebuild. Start from the truth you just found. Ignore how it's always been done. If memory works through connection, then your study method should force you to explain ideas in your own words. Out loud. To someone else. Or to yourself. That's the Feynman technique. And it works because it respects how the system actually operates. This applies everywhere. You think you need to work out for an hour. No. Your body needs regular stress. Intensity matters. Frequency matters. Duration is secondary. 20 minutes of hard work beats 60 minutes of distraction. You think someone is angry at you. No. They have an unmet need. And they're expressing it poorly. Skip the surface. Go to the need. Most conflict dissolves when you do that. You think your kid needs more activities. No. They need secure attachment. Space to explore. Resilience. The ability to cooperate. The rest is noise. You think you need the new thing everyone's buying. No. You need to ask, what value does this create for me? If the answer is weak, don't buy it. Now. AI changes this game. AI is very good at pattern matching. It's trained on everything humans have done. So it can imitate, extrapolate, and optimize within known territory. But AI can't do first principles. It can't look at a rocket and say, why does this cost what it costs? It can't ask if the premise is wrong. That's your edge. Not speed. Not memory. Your edge is the ability to step outside the pattern. And ask if the pattern itself is broken. So here's how you use this at work. Career decision. Ask, what value am I actually selling? Not your job title. Not your degree. What problem do you solve? Who needs that problem solved? Can you keep solving it for the next decade? If any answer is no, pivot now. Starting a business? Find the thing that will never change. People will always want to save time. They'll always want to feel safe. They'll always want to be seen. Build around that. Not around the trend. Facing a hard problem? Peel the onion. What's the symptom? What's underneath that? What's underneath that? Keep going until you hit the thing that can't be decomposed further. That's where the real work starts. Now. You want to get better at this? 5 habits. 1. Ask one why per day. Out loud. Why do I check my phone when I'm bored? Don't settle for the first answer. 2. Keep an assumption journal. Write down one thing you assumed today. I assumed my manager wanted X. Were you right? 3. Collect good questions. Not answers. Questions. What would this look like if it were easy? What is this person actually afraid of? What am I optimizing for? 4. Read outside your field. Physics. Biology. History. The more domains you understand, the more you can see which principles are universal. 5. Clear your cache. Once a quarter. Ask, what do I believe now that I didn't believe a year ago? If the answer is nothing, you're not learning. You're reinforcing. But here's what first principles is not. It's not a weapon. You can't use it to dismiss everyone you disagree with. Well, from first principles, you're wrong. That's not rigor. That's arrogance. It's not an excuse to ignore experience. Some knowledge is tacit. Some things you only learn by doing. First principles helps you ask better questions. It doesn't replace the need to build. And test. And fail. It's not a reason to never act. Analysis paralysis is real. At some point you have to decide with incomplete information. Use first principles for the big bets. Not every minor choice. And you can't do it alone. Talk to people. Get feedback. Reality is the judge. If your elegant theory doesn't work in practice, your theory is wrong. Most importantly, first principles thinking is not certainty. It's humility. You're not claiming to have found absolute truth. You're saying, based on what I know now, this is the best explanation I have. But I'm open to being wrong. That's the posture. Not, I figured it out. But, I'm building from the most solid ground I can find. And I'll rebuild again when I find firmer ground. Most people never question the map they were handed. They optimize. They improve. They inch forward. And that's fine. But if you want to go somewhere no one has gone, you need to draw a new map. That starts with one question. Not, how do I do this better? But, why does it have to be done this way at all? Ask that enough times. And eventually, you'll find a different answer.